Hey guys, we have got to do something, anything to stop the gun violence. It's a lie. You do not gotta do something. Matter of fact, the less you do as politicians, the better off we are. But the politicians will always say, we got to do something. I don't know if you guys have kept up with this Philadelphia shooting thing, but it's amazing how this story is just a little bit different because of probably the color of the shooter than it is usually when a white guy's shooting up the place. Usually Don Lemon's all over the place talking about the shooter and what color is and how the worst terrorist threat in the United States is a bunch of white guys, a bunch of white supremacists, but this kind of doesn't fit their narrative. And the interesting about this thing is, with Maurice Hill, I don't know if you guys have taken a look at his actual rap sheet, but you can just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. No amount of gun laws you could have added or thrown at this problem would have solved this situation. The guy was clearly a criminally minded, or is clearly a criminally minded individual, and the guns that he used were not guns that were purchased by legal means. So he had his own loophole. He had his own end around. He got the weapons anyway. It didn't matter what politicians did. It didn't matter what politicians promised. It didn't matter about the something that we must do. He got a hold of the weapons and he gave the police a good run for their money. So you got, I can't remember his name, the mayor for Philadelphia, Kinney. So he gets up there and he says, we've got to protect our police. We've got to make sure that nobody can have unlimited weapons and unlimited amounts of ammunition and hold the police up for hours. Well, that's what you should say about regular people. Regular people regular people should have access to the same things. If the police had a hard time with this guy, how about the average quote-unquote citizen who you're trying to strip the rights away from? Because that's what background checks do. Background checks keep you, and I know I'm harping on this kind of stuff, but this is super important. Background checks keep you from a life-saving firearm. So if you've got a mayor and cops coming out saying, hey, we need an easier time with these criminals. We need protection. We need to be protected. We need to make sure that we keep guns out of the hands of people to make it easier for us. That's what we're saying as non-law enforcement individuals. We need to have the firepower to protect ourselves when somebody like a Maurice Hill comes along and starts trying to shoot up our house or shoot up our businesses or shoot up our schools. We need the same kind of firepower and more that Maurice Hill does, that Maurice Hill has. He got it by illegal means. Illegal, I'm saying illegal. You know, this illegality thing is just a crock of BS, guys. So here's what politicians should be doing. Instead of saying, we've got to do something, they should be saying, you know what? It's time for us to stop being pansy-ass nitwits about this whole thing. We need to man up, you need to woman up, and you need to protect yourselves. You need to, some people are probably wondering, I'm just walking around this parking lot. Here's a Walmart parking lot here in Tahlequah. And I'm walking around because I had to get out of the truck and I had to talk to you guys about this because this was just burning on my heart. By the way, if you go anywhere, make sure that you protect yourself with your chosen firearm. That's a Glock 22, it's a 40 cal. I know a lot of other people have, you know, different tastes, but the bottom line is protect yourself, protect your family wherever you go. Take personal responsibility for your own safety. Don't be a child about this whole thing and wait for mommy and daddy government to come along and please protect you. Do it yourself. Don't wait. Nobody's going to come along. Nobody's going to come and help you. It's all on you. Like I always, you know, you hear all over the place, when seconds count, police are minutes away. They will do you absolutely no good. So when these politicians get up there and say, we gotta do something, no you don't. The people have to do something. They have to rise up for themselves against the aggressors. Because guys, the aggressors are out there. They're gonna get guns. They're not gonna follow laws. So all these laws that politicians are putting in place are laws that bind you, that arrest you, that take away your rights, that take away your power. They don't take away the power of the criminals. Every law empowers a criminal because they know they're not gonna obey it. So they have the advantage on this playing field. They know that you're going to play according to the rules. You're going to be a good little boy or a good little girl, and you're going to follow what the politicians say, and it's going to be to your destruction. Something I failed to mention on that live stream the other night is that you can see the perfect example of the breakdown of government in gun-free zones. The most powerful person in the gun-free zone is the one who ignores the politician's commands, the one who disrespects the law. That's the person who has the best chance for survival in that situation. When you've got a gun-free zone, you are literally disempowered if you choose to obey those laws, and you have to choose to obey those laws. Instead of taking the mentality of, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and conceal carry because I know I'm a responsible person. And you know, the danger there is you could go through a detector you didn't know was there. They identify you, and now you, having done nothing wrong but break the laws of a politician, become a criminal in the eyes of the state, and you go to jail if you enter that post office and you have a firearm on. You go to jail if you entered that school zone 1,000 feet from a school. You go to jail because they perceive you to be a criminal because you didn't obey the politicians. And now the enforcers, being the order follows they are, go, well, we gotta, yeah, he didn't hurt anybody, he didn't threaten to hurt anybody, he didn't steal anybody's property, but we got to take this guy to jail because our politicians say so. It is utter lunacy, guys. Utter lunacy. Why would you ever go somewhere where you couldn't give yourself the best chance for survival? So when you're in a gun-free zone, your best chance for survival, the best chance for survival of anybody in that situation is the person who's going to disobey the laws of the politicians. That provides you the best opportunity to get out of there alive in case an event goes down, and the best opportunity to overthrow any kind of criminal uprising while you're in that situation. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. These aren't just cliches. We need to really get them down into our hearts and in our spirits so that we can protect ourselves, so that we can protect our families, so we can protect that poor store clerk who is brainwashed by CNN to think, oh my God, guns are the most dangerous things on planet Earth, and you gotta stay away from guns. We need gun control because guns are what's gonna do the killing. I mean, that's what Senator Nelson said there in Florida, right? Guns are what is going to do the killing. So gosh, you know, there are brainwashed people out there who need protection. And the cops aren't going to give them protection because the cops show up after the fact. They're there to write the paperwork, to order the body bags, to take the pictures, to put the chalk on the sidewalk, show where all the dead bodies are. So what the politicians should be doing, if they really cared about you, was saying, look, if you want to be protected, you got to do it yourself. Don't rely on political parasites to make laws that aren't even going to make you safe. They're just going to take away your power. So that's the lie of, we got to do something. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're politicians. You're liars. All you do is lie and suck money away from the rest of us. I had a conversation with somebody, I don't know, the other day, and they said, look, Brian, hey, if you don't like the way it is, oh, what is it, blurry? Let me see. If you don't like the way it is here in America, hey, go somewhere else where they don't tax you. That's like saying to the lady who got her purse snatched by the purse snatcher, hey, you don't like it in this neighborhood? You don't like your purse being snatched? Go to another neighborhood. It's like, no, what if I want to stay here and make this neighborhood better? I like this neighborhood. And I think criminal activity done by any person, whether it's a purse snatcher or a politician or a cop, is wrong. And I'm just going to stand on morality. What about that? What about I stay? And they're like, you know, people are like, well, just, you don't like it here in America? Leave the country. Well, guess what? I can't just up and leave the country. I have to get the government's permission to leave the country and get a passport. Government, can I please leave the country? Yeah, that'll cost you $150. Plus, we got to get your picture. Plus, we have to process you. And oh, by the way, it's going to take about 6 weeks for you to get your passport. That's the situation we're involved in today. Why? Because we believe the politicians when they say, well, we got to do something. We got to create passports. You got to have a registration for your car. You got to get insurance on that car. You got to go through the TSA if you want to go anywhere at our airports. We got to have gun control. We got to keep you guys safe. We have to have law enforcement. What would you do without politicians? We got to have politicians. We got to do something. No, you don't, because the more you do, the deeper in debt we get. The more beholden to foreign powers we are. The more immoral we as a society become. A society that's laden down with laws is a society that is in bondage to slavery, the slavery of the system. We don't gotta do nothing except uphold champion the cause of the golden rule. Do to others what you would want done to you. Don't do to others what you wouldn't want done to you. It's really simple. Shall not be infringed. Super simple. Super simple. You have the right to be secure in your person's, houses, papers, and effects against any violation of your rights. You have that right. Really simple. God, it's you would think that the most simple job in the world would be to be a politician, because all you would have to do is go, hey, I put my hand on the Bible, I raise my hand toward heaven, and I promise to uphold the Constitution and defend it against all enemies, foreign, domestic. How easy can you get? I just have 10 amendments. I'm just going to stick with these 10. How can I go wrong? Basically, what I'm doing is championing the cause of freedoms for all Americans that I said I would champion the cause of. Seems like it'd be super simple, but no, they got to make things complex. And now we have, like, what is it? 26,000 freaking gun law. How do you even make that much legislation and just burden the people with all this garbage, man? It's just disgusting. Just disgusting. And I know some of you guys are mad at me about that last Jesse Lee Peterson video that I did. Hey, guys, statism is statism. By any other name, Robert, here, I'm just gonna, sorry, my hand's in the way there. I'm gonna put this up there. Can you guys see okay? Let me put my glasses on, see what you guys are saying here. Thanks for the super chat, whoever gave that. Let me see if I can scroll back to see who did it. 213 on a Friday night, man. I appreciate that. Super chat from, I love this little thing from YouTube. It says, welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Remember, guys, be good little boys and girls while you're in here. Don't want anybody misbehaving. And don't worry, I will never, and I've instructed, if I ever have moderators in here, I don't know if any moderators are in here right now, but I'm never going to, I hate censorship, man. I hate censorship in every form. It doesn't matter to me what sticks and stones, whatever happened to, man, it seems like I grew up in a different era and it wasn't that long ago. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. How did we get so pansy and pussies? How did we get so beta and just soy? How did we get that way? What happened to us? What was the turning point? What's cool about these holsters right here is when it goes in, it clicks. And you got to push this button to get it out, so somebody can't just grab it. You know, if somebody knew what they were doing, they could grab it and get a hold of it. But it's pretty cool. It's just very sturdy. Okay. MGC, the truth. Thanks for the super chat. I will never give my freedom away to these fools, from these fools. Never. Amen. What if we all thought like that? You ain't getting one more scrap of my freedom, bozos. Hit the road. Go to the clown show. Hey, Hacking the Headlines is here. Thanks for all your hard work, Brian. Hey, thank you. I really appreciate you hanging out. If anybody, there's a lot of really cool gardening tips that Hacking the Headlines does. Check out her channel. She does some really cool stuff, and she deals with some pretty hot topics that are very, very interesting. That's Hacking the Headlines. Thanks for the super chat, April. Of Aaron C. Thanks for the super chat. Either we care enough to organize IRL. Shoot, what does IRL mean? Or the Republic is lost. This online bullshit of talking in echo chambers is useless. It is. It is. And I don't want an echo chamber. And that was a point that I forgot to bring up in my live stream today. Is that I went on American Joe's show, and let me, if Joe's, whether Joe's watching or not or ever sees this video, I love that guy. I think that American Joe wants to make America better. I really, really do. And I've talked to him about Donald Trump and how misguided he is, and that Trump's a Zionist, and just all down the road why I'm against Donald Trump. I'm against Donald Trump for the exact same reason I was against Barack Obama. You got to be consistent, guys. See, that's the problem with statism, is it forces you into a box of inconsistency. You have to be inconsistent, because listen, if you're gonna call out Obama for infringing on any rights, going against the Fourth or the Second Amendment, for example, just examples off the top of my head, if you're going to come against Obama for not saying anything against the IRS or not doing anything at all substantial with the Federal Reserve or Zionism or for giving away foreign money to foreign powers or our entangling alliances. See, these are all things that Trump does. Or beefing up the military-industrial complex. Trump did that. Why aren't we Trump? Why were we Obama's enemy for beefing up the military-industrial complex? I mean, his alternate name is literally Drone Bomba or Albamia. The guy was a murderous psychopath, just like all presidents are. Puppets on a string. And that's why I went to Joe's channel, because I don't want to be in the echo chamber. I don't want to constantly talk to people who just say the same things to me. We gotta branch out, and we gotta spread these breast fires of freedom, like I talked about earlier today. I love Joe. I love the American Joe, and I love listening to some of the content on his channel. But there comes a time where you have to wean yourself off the milk, and you have to start eating premium steak. There comes a time where, a baby in his life, he starts crawling, and then he kind of stabilizes himself on the table, and he kind of takes little baby steps, and then he starts walking, and then you gotta start running, and it's a full sprint for liberty. If anybody who tries to make truth moderate is lying. To make truth moderate is to lie. Truth is full bore, full tilt, pedal to the metal. I don't give a darn what happens. I am 100% for freedom. If anybody comes in my periphery and tries to knock me off of that course, they're my enemy, because they're my family's enemy. They're trying to enslave me, my family, my friends, all you guys. We gotta stick together. We're literally in the same boat. Whether we like it or not, we're in the same boat as Chris Cuomo. We're in the same boat as little Brian Stelter. We're in the same boat. I mean, literally, if I'm gonna fight for your freedom, you're gonna fight for my freedom, then we're also gonna fight for Brian Stelter's freedom and Jesse Peterson's, or is it Peterson? Jesse Lee Peterson's freedom. The reason I did that last video is because I want to show people there's literally a cult of personality. We're like, no, I like this guy. He's amazing. Well, what's so amazing about statism? What's so amazing about believing that some people have a right to initiate unjust force on peaceful people who haven't done anything wrong? What's so amazing about initiating the drug war? Obama was for the drug war. Trump's for the drug war. Obama was for the CIA. Trump's for the CIA. Obama didn't shut down the TSA. Trump didn't shut down the TSA. Neither did George W. Neither did, any of these nitwits. They're not going to do anything about the Federal Reserve or the IRS. Because they don't care if you're getting robbed. They want you to get robbed. That's how the system works. That's how the beast system works. They're plundering us every single day. And that's why Bastiat says the state is that great fiction by which everyone seeks to live at the expense of everyone else. And the bottom line, the bottom tenor of that is, the foundation of that is, it's utterly immoral. Why am I against gun laws? Because it's immoral. Nobody's got a right to tell you what you can or can't own and what you can or can't use to protect yourself. Well, you can't have a Glock 40. We only allow you a BB gun. Really, I don't want a BB gun. I want a Glock 40. I don't want a pellet rifle. I want an AR-15. I want a fully automatic firearm, just like they got in the military. If the military's got it, if the cops have it in their cop car, you should be able to have it in your possession. So thanks. Thanks of Aaron C. Thanks for that super chat. Thank you guys for hanging out, man. It's super humbling whenever I see just one person in the room. Don't stream and drive. Okay, if I do, I'll try to be safe. Gosh, why can't I read that? Truth, not fiction matters. Okay, truth, not fiction matters says, what's up, brother? Not much, man. I'm enjoying life because, God, man, isn't it good? I read somewhere one of the coolest quotes, coolest short quotes is the most comfortable pillow you will ever own is a clear conscience. It's a clean conscience. It's knowing that wherever you walk, you're walking on the bedrock and foundation of truth and logic. And if you're ever wrong, because you're a human being, you're gonna be wrong. You don't fear scrutiny because you want to be corrected. You listen to the words of wisdom and you listen to the words of correction and you want to walk in that. You don't want to just talk it. You want to walk in it. You want to go to sleep. Speaking of going to sleep, you want to go to sleep knowing that you did everything you could do to be the best person you could be today. And then your goal tomorrow is to be a better person tomorrow than you were today. And then we just go up. We graduate from there. We graduate from there. We graduate from there. And you have to engage in cognitive dissonance to be embroiled in this political theater. That's literally what it is. It's theater. It's to get you deceived, divided, and distracted and keep each other at each other's throats so that the Republicans are always against the Democrats and the Democrats are always against the Republicans, and you're a lame brain liberal retard, or you're a conservative nutjob nitwit conspiracy theorist, and I hate your guts and I hope Hillary Clinton rules you next year. Well, I hope Donald Trump rules you next year. And it's like, and the bankers are behind. I don't have any change with me. The bankers are behind the scenes going ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Hey, Lord Rothschild, when do you want to start the next war? When do you want to put the next batch of soldiers into Syria? When do you want to take over Venezuela? Because they're too busy fighting among themselves to notice us, and that's exactly the way we want it. Oh yeah, we keep stealing from them. God, this is easy. It's like taking candy from a baby. They literally love Trump. They hate Trump. The anti-Trumpers hate the pro-Trumpers. The pro-Trumpers can't stand the leftists. Oh gosh, this is so great. What a field day we're going to have. It's going to be a wonderful Christmas again, and we've had great Christmases since 1913, haven't we, boys? Oh yeah. Jeez, we're being played, and most of us don't see it. Oh, but did I thank you? Truth matters, not fiction. Truth, not fiction matters. Thanks, man. So yeah, I'm doing good because I go to sleep every night knowing that I did everything I could do to help people out. And I'm not trying to toot my horn. I'm just saying, what if we all lived like that? Glenn Dietz, thanks for the super chat. I really appreciate it, guys. It's just unsubbed you at Paul L. I don't know. Are you saying you unsubbed me? This is from, man, I must need new glasses because I can't even read this. Oh, this is Lala Duty Incarnate. Yeah, I got to get good at that name, man. Thank you for the super chat. IRS security guard pulled gun on cop visiting. Is that a story? Is that a new story? IRS security guard pulled gun on cop visiting. Hey, if that's a story, drop a link. And the way you got to do it is you got to say dot instead of the dot, and just kind of break it up, or it won't let you do it. Or I'll try to look that up. If you can just type the headline, if you can't get the thing in there, the link. Just checking for another super. There it is. Hacking the headline. Is that the one I already? You're the best, Brian. You know what? Not really. I mean, like. I appreciate it. Thank you for the sentiment. It's like I'm just doing the best I can do. That's all I can do. When I got my eyes open, I had said before what really opened my eyes to things was the Ron Paul campaign in 2012. But when I think about it, in 2008, one of my friends gave me a book called The Creature from Jekyll Island I think it's by G. Edward Griffin. Griffin. I think it's G. Edward Griffin. And when I read that, it's about the international banking cartel and how it all started. And you can actually go to Jekyll Island and look at their archives. There's this plaque on the door saying the Federal Reserve was born here, Jekyll Island, Georgia. That really opened my eyes to what the heck is going on. They didn't teach me this stuff in school. Is this for real? And it had all the end notes. And I went to the library because at the time I had a phone, but I think it was 2008 or 2007. Anyway, I wasn't real big on the internet, didn't know how to work it. It seemed like a scary technology to me. And I remember going to the library and just looking up a whole bunch of these references and everything corroborated, and it was just very interesting to me. And I was thinking, holy crap, if this is true, we're in a world. I mean, like, if they control our monetary system, is there anything that they don't control? And it just, that's why I keep quoting that Amschel Rothschild's passage. It says, if I have control over a nation's money, I care not who makes its laws. And why would you? Why would you? If you have the purse strings, if you hold the purse strings of a nation, who cares who makes the laws? You can buy off every politician you want. But, we know why politicians are there. They're not there to help people. They say they're there to help people, but it's all about money, man. It's all about the money. So thank you, Hacking the Headlines. That was very sweet of you to say. But I know for sure I'm not the best. Let's see. Okay, there's one more here. There's one more super chat. Let me get my spectacles. I'm gonna get my own spectacles on. Let's see. Okay. For the wages of sin is death. Thanks for the super chat. Bitcoin is anti-government because it's decentralized. I like Bitcoin. I like it. I mean, it's a great, and you know what I like about it is the ledger system. It's based on something that's actually provable. There's a data trail. You pull $1 out of your pocket and it's like, where'd that come from? It's got a serial number on it, but I mean, gosh, what's the backing behind it? Just take our word for it. It's worth $5. Just take our word for it. It's worth $10. Just take our word for it. It's worth $1. Come on, it's a United States currency note. How could you go wrong? How could you ever go wrong? I'm sure they said that in Weimar Republic before everything went to crap, and they started using their paper notes as wallpaper, and the kids were playing with them in the street. People are using it to keep warm in the winter. That's gonna happen. The statistic for fiat currency is that every one of them 100% of the time goes to zero. Every one of them, without fail. That's what happens when you put dishonest people in control of your money system. But why doesn't anybody talk about the money system? Why is that? Why can you listen to hours and hours and hours of debate and they're always talking about, well, we need gun control, we need education reform, we need to wipe out student loan debt, we need $15 an hour minimum wage, and we got to get universal health care for all. That's what we got to do. Nobody talks about the Federal Reserve. Why the heck are we $22 trillion in debt? 120 trillion counting unfunded liabilities. Why? Because we have a dishonest money system. That's why. It's really easy to do that when you can just print it out of thin air or just put ones and zeros in people's accounts. Thank you, Box of Clocks. Shout out to Box of Clocks. Thanks for the super chat. For the wages of sin is death, says bring it, Brian. Bitcoin is 21 million cap. I like that too. It's not fiat. It can't be regulated. It's the future. Man, I really hope it can't be regulated, but somehow, some way, the government's going to weasel themselves into controlling that. I had a handful of almonds just I don't know, about 30 minutes ago. I hope it can't be regulated. Somebody was telling me that the IRS is sending people letters who are into cryptocurrency, and they're making them sign something. I haven't looked into it. I haven't gotten a letter, but if it's true, I'm sure I'm going to get mine. Lala Duty Incarnate says YouTube IRS security guard pulls gun on cop. Okay, I'll check that out, man. I will check that out. That's an interesting headline to me. Very interesting. Truth, not fiction matters. My last video, I plugged that same book and gave you and American Joe a shout out. Are you talking about the book from Smedley Butler, War is a Racket, or the book by G. Edward Griffin, Creature from Jekyll Island? Thanks again, Box of Clocks, for the super chat. Also, I did not thank you again. Truth, not fiction matters. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Man, guys, thanks for hanging out with me on a Friday night. I really appreciate that. You have no idea how humbled I feel that you guys are here. I really, really appreciate it. Bagel Mafia. Hey, I watched a really cool video. I was actually listening to it after I clocked out. It was from No More News, and I will leave the link in the bottom of this video. You got to check out the video. It's very interesting. He follows the bagel mafia trail with Jeffrey Epstein and all the people involved in that. Very good. Adam Green just knows what he's doing on this stuff. I would consider him an expert in the field of bagel mafiaism, if we can put it like that. Hopefully hopefully they don't create an algorithm that captures videos and throws down videos that say bagel mafiaism. Yeah, the Fed's got to go. Faux show. So anyway, I just wanted to, it's a lie to say we got to do something. I just want to wrap up with this. It's a lie that we got to do something. It's almost like the salesman, like you go to a car lot or something and you're wanting to buy something and they're like, no, sit down right now. Just sign this right here. Yeah, just sign this piece of paper right here. No, you got to do it right now. The deal only lasts for right now. It's like there's this sense of urgency that politicians have. Dang it! 6 police officers got shot in Philly. When are we going to stop? When are we going to say enough is enough? Wasn't 17 kids enough in Parkland? Wasn't 26 people enough at that place in Connecticut that I won't mention because it'll catch an algo? Wasn't that enough? And I say, wasn't it enough to light a fire under your butt and get you to start defending yourself? Wasn't it enough? Wasn't it enough to make you wake up and go, you know what? I'm laying here at bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. I hear something outside. If I get broken in on, I have nothing to protect myself but this lamp right here, this ugly lamp. I don't mind throwing the lamp and breaking that lamp over somebody's head, but what if they got a gun? I've got no chance. I guess I could throw my Chihuahua at them, but I love my Chihuahua, and I don't want my Chihuahua to die. I mean, I'm trying to make light of it, but maybe I shouldn't. A lot of people are so scared of firearms, and it's the very tool that puts you on an equal playing field and an equal power level, equal power footing as any, name the weight, 300-pound, 400-pound assailant. Put a 40 caliber, semi-automatic, even subcompact weapon into a woman's hand, the weakest woman you could think, the weakest grandma you could think, and all she's got to do is point and pull the trigger and end the threat right there and then. Doesn't have to call 911. Ma'am, you can call 911 later if you want, but go ahead and take care of the threat now. And you see so many, you can look up so many news articles where somebody used an AR-15 or an AK-47, you know, one of those kind of semi-automatic rifles, and they actually needed that 30-round magazine because they're a terrible shot. You're nervous, the adrenaline's pumping, you're not in the rifle range and everything's all steady and you're, okay, breathe in, exhale, pull the trigger. You got no time for that. You're thinking, oh my God, is my family gonna die? Am I gonna take a bullet right now? And you're just high on adrenaline and you're just wondering, is this the end? You need all the bullets and all the firepower you can get. And if politicians had one stitch of moral fiber in them, they would realize, they would just put themselves in that person's shoes as a weak person and go, you know what? I can't sign this freaking gun bill. I can't sign this background check bill. I can't sign this red flag law. I can't do that to my fellow human beings. What kind of person would I be if I signed that? Oh, that's right. I'd be a parasitic moron. I'd be a parasitic, amoral, Bozo the Clown class moron who doesn't give a damn about any human being. I have no empathy and no compassion. That's why I want to be a politician and sign laws that make people less safe and empower criminals. Nice occupation. Nice. For the wages of sin is death said, when the Fed dollar is worth 0, buy my BTC for 1 million. Sorry for y'all that missed the boat. Yeah, guys, I would look into alternative cryptos, Bitcoin being the top of the list in my book. I mean, based on my research. You know what? Let's put it this way: when the music stops and all the chairs start disappearing, and you got no place to sit down because your fiat currency is completely worthless, you do not want to have your time and laboring energies parked in fiat currency. You don't want it. You don't want that, because once those notes become worthless, All that work you did to get those notes, which is really a note of debt, is gone. It evaporates. See, that's what's so insidious about fiat currency, is it's a construct of the mind. People believe it's valuable, but then you got to take into consideration the hidden tax. What's the hidden tax? It's inflation. So you could park your time and laboring energies into those fiat notes, and the bankers can extract the value from that without ever entering your house, without ever entering your bank account, without even doing anything on the keys of the computer. All they have to do is manipulate things in the market, and the market is manipulated. We do not live in a free market system right now. Any system that's governed by fiat currency is not a free market system. I had a conversation with somebody today about, capitalism versus socialism. We are more socialistic than we are capitalistic. Yeah, the socialism that's taken over the country, you got Social Security, Medicare, anything that funds anything, or is it redistribution of wealth. And I counted like 75 things. I'll make a list if you want me to. I think it's up to 100 now, probably more. I mean, there's probably more that I haven't even seen. But these are socialist programs, all under the umbrella of capitalism. Sorry, if you have any impurity injected into capitalism, it's automatically no longer capitalism. Yeah, there's capitalistic things that go on, but when you interject a third party, that capitalism has vanished. Here's pure capitalism. I don't know, there's some guy walking around this parking lot. I don't know what he's doing. He's got a bag in his hand or something. I don't know. But I'm armed and I'm ready. But here's pure capitalism. And I've used this analogy before. I have a candy bar, you have $1. I want your $1, you want my candy bar. I give you my candy bar, you give me your $1. That is capitalism. It was voluntary. There was no coercion. There was no force. There was no threats. There was no third party regulating that transaction. It's a transaction between this person who wants your good and you who want that $1. Let's call it silver. Let's say he's got a 10 pence of silver. Whatever you want to call it. But it's a mutual, voluntary transaction. That's capitalism in a nutshell. You can come up with all kinds of fancy definitions, but that is literally what capitalism is. And when you interrupt that, with any kind of idea of the commandeering of wealth against someone's will without their consent, you've automatically corrupted the capitalism, and now it's no longer capitalism. Or if you fix it and you rig the system, now you got corporatism. Corporatism's not capitalism. So while they villainize capitalism, it's really corporatism you're seeing. And it's a form of socialism. So anyway, so thank you for that super chat, Box of Clocks. I really appreciate it. And also thanks for the wages of sin is death. Oh, here's some more super chats. Hey, thanks, Mark. Mark, hope I don't slaughter your name. Looks like Kylus, Kuylys. I am blind. K-A? Is that a K-A? So thanks, Mark. I appreciate the super chat. For the wages of sin is death is another one. When the musical chair stops, you better have a chair. Yeah. The musical chairs will stop one day, guys. It is going to stop. This doesn't go on forever. The ride is going to end. Do I know when it's going to end? Nope. You just got to prepare yourself. And you know what? If we don't make it out alive, because none of us will. I mean, we're all going to die. But while you're living, while you're alive, just do what is right. Though the heavens fall and the earth opens up, just know that you stood for what is right. And as you're doing what is right, empower yourself. One of the best ways you can empower yourself is to do those things that the politicians are trying to take away from you. Stock up on those things that politicians are trying to take away from you. They're trying to take away your bullets. I mean, they'll do it in many different ways. They'll be like, like Elizabeth Warren, let's put a 30% tax on ammunition. 30 to 50% tax on ammunition. That's an infringement. We're not taking away. You can keep and bear arms. You just can't have ammo. You just infringed, Elizabeth. Thanks, Pocahontas. Really appreciate that. Moron. It's moronic. It's immoral. Any law that comes out against you is literally immoral, guys. It might as well be Satan with horns of... We want your rights. And oh, by the way, while we take your rights, we want your pocketbook. Go ahead and open up your pocketbook. We're only taking 20%. Oh, are you in that tax bracket? Then we take 27% from you. Oh, are you in this tax bracket? How about 33%? AOC says we're going to do a marginal tax rate. Oh, well, that's okay because I don't make $10 million, but you're still consenting to immorality. That guy who made the $10 million, maybe he did it honestly. Maybe he didn't do it honestly. Maybe he did it dishonestly. But the bottom line is, you don't condone theft. Well, how are you going to build the roads unless we hit people over the heads? It's almost like, unless we club baby seals, just club baby seals. What do you do all day? I club baby seals. Well, why do you club baby seals? Who's going to build the roads if I don't club baby seals? But the thing is, it's not that baby seals are getting clubbed. It's that human beings are being robbed so you can have your roads. I'm okay with theft. I'm okay with extortion, which is theft by the threat of force. As long as I can have my roads, what does that make you? Hey, I'm glad to live in America where we have schools. Yeah, but they're taxing people. They're actually foisting a tax experiment, a theft experiment on the people so that you can have your freaking public schools. These 5 people on my street don't even have kids, and they're still made to pay the school tax. Well, at least we got schools, right? Yeah, but you rob people to get it. What kind of person does that make you to condone the criminality called theft? And then if they don't pay for it, you're okay with authorities, men with guns, coming in and throwing their ass in cages. That's why I got this channel, because like it's like a mind-blowing, obvious, not even an elephant in the living room. It's that blue whale that's flopping around, sloshing around going, I'm here, and we're like, no, taxes are fine. Do we have roads? Yeah, oh yeah, everything's fine. Whew, oh my gosh, be still my heart. We have roads. Oh my gosh, we have public schools. That's good. Oh, the bridges. How could we ever get the bridges unless we stole from people? Do you think for a minute that animal lovers would want you to club baby seals so that you could go over that bridge in Brooklyn? Do you really think I'm okay with the clubbing of baby seals if I can just have bridges? Really? You know what's worse than clubbing baby seals? Stealing money from people who had to leave their family to go work for it so they could put a roof over their family's head and food in their family's stomach. It's just as immoral as just arbitrarily clubbing baby seals. What do you do for a living, Brian? Oh, nothing much. I mean, I got to feed my family, so basically I rob little old ladies every chance I get. I mean, the more I rob the little old ladies, the better off my family is. What would you think of me if I did that? Hopefully you would not think very highly of me if that was my occupation. Robbing little old ladies. Well, Brian, what do you do if they don't give you their purse? I have rope in my car, and I tie them up and I throw them in a cage. What? What do you say? Oh, hold on a second. Brian, you're telling me, oh my God, I can't believe you're saying this. You're telling me to feed your family, to clothe your family, and to put a roof over your family's head, you rob little old ladies, and if they don't give you their purse, you take rope out of your car, and where's this cage? Oh, it's in my basement. Do you feed them? Yeah, I give them water and bread every now and then, but I mean, it's their fault that they didn't get, if they don't want me robbing their purse, they can go to another neighborhood. What? You gotta be kidding me. And yet we're okay with taxation? We're fine with taxation, but you wouldn't be fine with me robbing little old ladies to feed my family. And yet they're robbing us so that they can fund the military industrial complex, so they can fund NASA it's like $60 million a day, so they can give $10.2 million a day to Israel, so that we can beef up the military industrial complex, so that we can pay all the morons that are absolutely, utterly immoral at the Federal Reserve and the IRS, so that 535 people in Congress can make $174,000 a year. You're okay with that, but you wouldn't be okay with me robbing little old ladies, beating them over the head, getting a rope out of my car, tying them up, and throwing them in a cage in my basement. You wouldn't be okay with that, but you're fine with all this other stuff that amounts to way more death, destruction, and just utter mayhem around the globe. You're fine with that, but you're not fine with me. You would think ill of me if I did that to little old ladies. Just think about that, guys. What the government does is far worse than robbing little old ladies, by the way. Politics is war without bloodshed, whereas war is politics without bloodshed. All political power proceeds from the barrel of a gun. Mao Zedong. There's another nugget of truth, and that's from Lala Duty Incarnate. Man, I cannot get that name down. Lala Duty Incarnate. Yeah, I mean, you can read these quotes from these guys, and it's there's some powerful stuff there. That's just true. Politics is war without bloodshed, whereas war is politics without bloodshed. All political power proceeds from the barrel of a gun. That's true. That's why I always say politics is nothing more than nothing and nothing less than the clever and deceptive art of using euphemisms, lies, emotionalism, and fear-mongering in order to dupe average people into accepting and even demanding the chains of their own enslavement. That's exactly what politics is. To call it, to label it anything any different, unless it's in the negative, is to be really dishonest with what politics really is. And that's the magical spell that we have on our society, not just in America, but all over the place. God, have you seen those spectacles where the Queen of England comes out and like everybody, like they get off work and they line the streets and they're like, oh my God, the Queen, oh my God, the Queen. Do you know how much wickedness the Queen, how much blood the Queen and her family have on their hands? How much pedophilia, how much theft, how much murder they have on their hands, these evil psychopaths. And we bow down, our brethren bow down and worship them. But then we're no better when a president drives down the road in his motorcade and it's like, oh my God, I got to see the president. What time is it? Oh, on this day, at this time, I actually got to see the side of the president's face as he drove by in the limousine. What a wonderful day. Bowing down to psychopaths. Go figure. The Wages of Sin is Death says, the Bible, Bitcoin, and my guns. This is my portfolio, and these are anti-government. All these are anti-government, ironically. Thanks for the super chat, man. 308 people still sticking around. Thank you, man. Thanks, guys. Avid animal lover. For everyone who can see this, please check out SGT Report's video with Kent Lewis posted on 5/7/19. Bitcoin is owned by the Federal Reserve. You know, I think I saw that. I wasn't convinced by that. I don't think it's true because Bitcoin is actually an honest money system with a traceable ledger. Federal Reserve that's antithetical to what the Federal Reserve is all about. They're all shrouded in mystery. This is all in the daylight. They want to print currency and make it valueless and meaningless and have an infinite supply. Bitcoin it's like 21 million, and that's all you get. That's all you'll ever get. That's all there will ever be is 21 million Bitcoin. So that doesn't compute with me. I don't agree with that. You can, I'm open to correction. Avid animal lover. I know that SGT Report is a statist. Yeah, that's true. And his OTL, I can't remember what that means, but occasionally he has good content. I like Sean. I like Sean from SGT Reports. He's had my back when I lost my channel. He got on Twitter, did the @team YouTube thing, did a show, trying to, he had my back, and I have his back, and so. I know it's unfortunate. We did a live stream one time. No, it was a taped show, I think. But anyway, I was on his show, and I like him. I like the guy. He's very likable, very knowledgeable. He's got a lot of knowledge, and I just, for the life of me, cannot understand why Sean at SGT Reports, I can't remember what this one guy's name is, but there's so many people out there. I can't understand why people want to stay in statism when it's utterly illogical, it's antithetical to truth, and is completely amoral. I don't understand it. Do not understand that. Let's go into the super chat. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button, and then please share these videos, guys. You know, if I stepped on your toes with that last video about, I would like to talk with Jesse Lee Peterson, actually. You know, people are calling him names and stuff. I'm not going to call the guy names, except he reveals himself to be a statist. He is in the left versus right paradigm lie, which is completely against freedom. It's antithetical to freedom, completely, guys. So if you guys want to help me reach out to Jesse Lee Peterson, I would like to do a live stream with him if he wants to be on my show, or if he wants me to be on his show. I definitely welcome that talk, because, you know, you got to ask the hard questions. Like, why are you a statist? Why are you for government? Why are you for Trump? Do you not realize that he's in the back pocket of the Federal Reserve international banking cartel? Do you not realize he's a Zionist? He basically, I haven't seen him directly say he's a Zionist, but everything he does is all about Zionism, the people he's in cahoots with, the people he likes. Look at Jared Kushner. There's just all the indicator. And by the way, it's not an ad hominem to call somebody a statist. A statist is simply who believes in the legitimacy of government, and government literally is mind control. Government is the idea that somebody, somewhere, somehow has a moral right to rule you, and you have a moral obligation to obey them. If you don't have that right, and I don't have that right, how did they get that right? Well, the answer is they don't have that right. It's not legitimate. It's all just it's cognitive dissonance. It's cult of personality. It's all that stuff rolled into one, and people cannot understand the very simple concept of, if you did the very same thing as government does, if you treated people the exact same way as law enforcement does, your ass would be thrown in a jail faster than you can snap your fingers. And rightly so. Because what government is doing to you, what Congress is doing, what law enforcement does, is absolutely immoral. If you did the same thing to your neighbor or any other human being, you'd rightly be thrown in jail and tried by a reputation-based community. And someone would go, well, what would you do without government? You could have dispute resolution organizations. And it could be completely funded voluntarily. And with the internet age that we have, you can literally have, and it would have to start with the community. You'd have to decentralize. You'd have to disband Washington, D.C. Do away with Washington, D.C. The existence of Washington, D.C. violates the 10th Amendment. Those powers are reserved for the states or for the people. And then you'd have to dissolve the states and just get into little community organizations. And we would have prosperity that you would not believe, because we would have an honest money system. We would have honest trade. We would stop the foreign entanglements, and we would all be frickin' armed to the teeth. Nobody would mess with America. But the key thing about power is, power resides, true power. Because, you know, the government has power, but it's illegitimate power. Power, true power, legitimate power resides in the hearts of those who take the path of morality, who take the path of truth, who take the path of logic and reason and goodwill and love and human compassion. And I saw on Joe's live stream on the side chat, when I started talking about love and compassion and goodwill, it's like, what the frick? Who's this guy? What kind of pansy is this? I'm talking about true love. I'm talking about do no harm, take no shit love. I'm talking about not initiating unjust force, but when that force comes against you or your family, you're all in. You're back to back. You're going after the criminal. You're throwing down the threat. It's not, that kind of love is not pansy. That kind of love is not soy boy. That kind of love is not beta male. That kind of love is, gloves have just come off and you, criminal, are going down. Period. That's what I'm talking about. Do no harm, take no, sorry about the S word, take no crap. Take no bull hooky. Avid animal lover. Bitcoin is the gateway to a cashless society, which is exactly what the elites want. They want every transaction recorded. By the way, I love you, Brian. Hey, thanks. Let's see. That's a complex topic that we should save for a different video. I appreciate you. I appreciate your super chat, and I appreciate you saying that. Bitcoin is the gateway. This is avid animal lover. Bitcoin is the gateway to a cashless society, which is exactly what the elites want. They want every transaction recorded. Yeah, but it's an honest. See, it's not so much recordings because it's an honest ledger. You could say credit cards are on the way to cashless society, and we've had that for a long, long time. Now, I'm not arguing with you. They want us to go to a cashless society, and the day that they go to end cashless, at least with the Federal Reserve note, you have something physical. You know, like if you have a yard sale and somebody wants to buy a trinket for $5 or $1 or whatever, you know, that transaction is not recorded. It's basically out in the open and nobody really knows about it. Although, you know, they could have tracking systems on that stuff. I know with the $100 and the $20 and the $50 bill, they got that little strip in there. I'm not exactly sure, but I've heard that there's equipment. Actually, I think I read and saw there's this machine where they can track how much money, if you have the bills with those strips in your pocket, they can detect how much money that you have in your pocket without you taking the money out of your pocket. So, gosh, you know, the cashless society thing is a little bit enigmatic to me. I don't have a mental grasp on exactly how that would come about. But yeah, the day that happens, we're pretty much screwed. That's gonna suck, and you know they're working toward that. Of Aaron C says, name the bagel. Your audience already knows the deal. You know what though? It's not about that nationality. It's not about that ethnic group. It's about Zionists, because you can be a white person or a black person or a Jewish person, or whatever. And I'm not going to broad brush any people group. It's not a bagel problem. It's a Zionist problem. And I went over that in the video. If you want a really good video on that, actually 2 videos, I think it's a 2-parter, is really graceful, does a very good job exposing Zionism. Adam Green from No More News does an excellent job exposing the evils of Zionism. The dollar is what the elites wanted. This society is always the devil's world, but this money can be used for the kingdom. It's been cashless. Yeah, we still have cash though. I don't want to go out on a limb, because I don't like to speak beyond my knowledge. I would have to get more knowledge about a lot of that stuff. And also I understand that people still don't trust Bitcoin. Although you'd probably trust it a little bit more if you bought it for $100 and now it's worth $10,300. Be like, what? I forgot I bought 50 Bitcoin at 76 cents. Man, hey, it's a new day. Woohoo! Guys, I appreciate you joining me. I'm going to keep this under an hour tonight. I really appreciate all your comments. Please like this video, share this video. The bottom line takeaway to this is, it's a lie to say we got to do something, because when a politician says they have to do something, it usually equals making more laws, and when they make more laws, you end up with less freedoms. I love every one of you. Make it a great day, not only for yourself, but also for everybody in your zone of influence. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.